Today at our penny ceremony for our second cohort for the Matriculation Institute. We out here deep, y'all. Turn, feeling the vibes. Let's go. A bunch of our incoming freshmen. They had a long week. This is the end. We about to go ahead and march it on down to the Seabrook and kind of give them their pendant to go with their blazers. Let's go.
All right, so if we can get your name and drop your at.
So my name is Centel McCoy, and my at is at SENXKUJO.
So I ain't gonna. I ain't. Like, I don't usually do this, but can you
Uh-huh.
explain that?
Explain what?
SNKUGJ Joe.
The name derived from a TV show that I watched called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So, so yeah, it's a Jotaro Kujo. It's an anime reference. So yeah.
All right, bet that's dope. I ain't gonna hold you. That's unique for sure. All right. So today's first day of class,
hmm
and congrats. Um, so I want to ask, why did you choose a HBCU?
Well, I chose the HBCU because I couldn't see myself going to another cultural area. So I thought, because back then I was thinking with just my sight. So I was thinking just colored, because I'm colored. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm black, so I wanted to be around other black people. But you know that changes over time.
You said it changed over time.
Mhm.
You mind elaborating?
So first coming here, I just came here for pretty much comfort, because what I'm saying, I'm around other people just like me, on the outside. But the ideals and morals in certain spaces is not the same that I carry. So it's just weird finding like your own space, even though it felt comfortable to come around the people that was the same color as me. I couldn't really find a space that was on the same intellectual level that I was on.
So when we're talking about these morals, can you focus on that area? Like, where do you feel like you didn't fit in, or you was different?
With me, it's more just holding ourselves to a certain standard, as far as like being here. It's a modesty is way different. What we do in our free time, like what is free time? What do we do when we bored? You know what I'm saying? What do we subject ourselves to when we're bored? And the extents to where we go, as far as like, if we bored, we just go drink, smoke, anything like that. Where there's no space there's no people on, like, there's not a lot of people on campus to where like you walk around the corner and you see somebody talking about some new experiment they just came up with. There's not a lot of people talking about the new invention they're trying to create. There's no exchange of ideas, which on other campuses there's a lot of. But here, you just walk around the corner, you're gonna see somebody asking something about, are you trying to join this party? You know what I'm saying? So that's not the biggest thing, but it's just one of the main things that I see most often. So that's what's coming to my mind.
Understood. And I was gonna ask, like, do you think that's just like a favorable state problem, or do you think that's like a cultural um, issue type of deal?
Hmm. Well, I only know what I've been around and what I've seen, but I think it's become a culture thing for the black community, because if you go online, it's spaces where they're doing the 20v1s, the it's a whole bunch of different just exchanges of masculine and feminine, where it's more about the looks and the being promiscuous, and after this we're gonna get some Don Julio, or what I'm saying, just there's not much of a culture outside of just having fun, quote unquote, in general.
What's culture?
Hmm. Culture, to me, well, I can only explain it what I understand. It's like the repetition of traditions over time, and it's building blocks as far as like morals and principles throughout society. You know what I'm saying?
Traditions,
Yeah,
customs.
yeah,
Would that cover what you had said about modesty as well too?
definitely. It definitely would. Um, our
Okay, so now I want to ask you about unity, because it seems like you're very passionate about our people and what we're doing, what we're up to, and our time. So I want to ask you, what does unity look like in our with our people? Because to me, you don't sound destroyed about our people. You don't sound hopeless. You don't sound like you're giving up or anything like that. It just seems like you see a lot in our people, and it seems like you're kind of frustrated because they don't or we don't see what you see.
mhm.
And I feel like that's something that I feel like visionaries run into. That's the issues visionaries run into. Pioneers, trailblazers, and things like that. They're usually misunderstood because they see something that the masses don't. So I want to ask you, what do you see us as when it comes to unity? What does unity look like?
Well, to me, unity it comes in many different forms, but specifically, like my vision for us is to be able to have a community to where we are able to hold each other accountable. Because a lot of times things happen in our community, and we just like, why, like whatever, like why do you care, type stuff. But we are all in the same community for a reason. Like it's meant to be. Like, and I heard this before. Common unity, you know what I'm saying? So what we have in common and bringing us together. So unity is togetherness. Like we're in this together, holding each other accountable, building different principles and morals to be better as a society. And in order to do so, you got to start with being accountable.
So can I ask you, what's one thing you feel like we can become accountable on? Like what's one thing, if you don't mind sharing, it doesn't have to be too out of the box either.
Mhm.
What's where what's a solution that you feel like we could implement that can create this better society?
Hmm. I'm trying to find one word to sum it up, but what's coming to mind right now is respecting each other, because yeah, respecting each other, because a lot of the times we have issues with each other that we wouldn't have with anybody outside of our community. So I think that's a real big thing right there, because if we understand that we are not perfect, and as long as we hold each other accountable, we'll be able to grow. Then respecting one another, as far as like if you have something to teach me, I'm willing to listen. Just like if I'm the younger person trying to teach you something, you're just as capable of listening to me. I think that would be a perfect, opportunity for growth, and we don't allow that in our community.
So, all right, if you had the opportunity right now to give the culture, our people, one goal right now, what is it? For instance, like when you were speaking on inventions and creating something, exchanging ideas, what's something that we can create?
I say produce more than we consume. Stop going to drama for your entertainment. Stop. Figure out why do you want to see fights instead of seeing your people grow together. And I'll say the main thing is just listen to each other. It don't matter if you're older or younger. We all have a consciousness for a reason. We all have a message to bring. So exchange ideas. Start exchanging ideas and put them into fruition after exchanging ideas. So that'd be my main thing.
But that was beautiful. Thank you.
Going on, guys? Thanks for tapping into another edition of Culturally Expressed, the retention specialist, the retention edition. We're in the Seabrook Auditorium at the Fayetteville State illustrious university, where we're about to have our second cohort for our matriculation institute. We're about to do our penny ceremony. A lot of the alumni showed up to help us do our penny ceremony, so we're looking forward to it and enjoy it. Have fun.
Life stay sideways when you turn. No raincoat, you get burned. Sure got me off the cliff, but I'm still screaming, Dale.